Okay, here we go. Abrams is A-. I think Abrams still has a really strong lane. Really has strong late game team fighting. He has good carry shutdown potential, of course, with his perma-CC. Like, anyone with like actual guaranteed CC and tanking is going to be good. Yeah, I don't think much has changed about Abrams, really. I think he's always going to be a solid tank. He got nerfed slightly, but I think he's still really good. Bebop. I think Bebop will always be like B tier with his current kit. Like, yeah, the ult build is like okay, and his lane is really strong, but he kind of like falls off. And like, you can be really good with him and make him do better, of course, but like, yeah, B for Bebop, A for Abrams. That's kind of the categories. You can pop off and make Bebop like more impactful, but I do think that like on average, Bebop's kind of like a B tier hero. Dynamo, really strong, but I don't really find him as like a big problem or overtuned. I think Dynamo is a solid near Abrams tier character. I don't really think Dynamo's does anything like crazy. It's like consistent value because of his ult, obviously, but I don't think there's anything like super crazy. Like, I think he's just like really solid. Talon, I think, is C tier. I think like it's a spirit meta, so Talon obviously has a lot of spirit damage, but I hate the changes with Talon, and Talon now, instead of his movement speed scaling with spirit, it's like his gun damage, and he just shoots so unbelievably slow that any sort of like fire rate slow is just so frustrating to deal with. And like this character, like it's a spirit meta, so everyone right now is spamming spirit armor in like every single game. Every game has like 6 improved spirit armors basically, and like Talon ends up doing no damage and getting easily dove, and just is like outpaced by the current meta. And you don't have free move speed anymore. So like I think it's like okay, but I don't think Talon is good right now. Haze, I think Haze is solid. I would put Haze above Bebop. It's just kind of one of those things, like I said, it's kind of a spirit meta. And spirit right now is just objectively more strong than attack damage. So like Haze is still great. She's a great character. I'm sure when the meta changes, she'll be good. But it's not like taking over every game anymore. Her ult got nerfed, rebuffed, but at the end of the day, it's kind of a spirit meta. So like Haze is like a solid character. You can carry on Haze, but it's not like it's not just like an insta carry character. Infernus, I'm gonna put an A+ still. I think Infernus overall just always has good value. I think Infernus is always like insanely high value to any team. Any team comp, like Infernus is a great pick. You're never gonna flame your Infernus. Well, I flame my Infernus all the time, but you're never gonna be mad that you have an Infernus on your team. So there was a recent change where lifesteal now stacks diminishingly, which is a really big change for Infernus. Like, you guys might not understand that. Basically, like if you stack multiple sources of lifesteal on Infernus, which is what we always did, like Soul Shredder, Enduring Spirit, Spirit Lifesteal Leech, whatever. That's kind of toned down like a lot. And his HP, his base HP has changed from 625 to 575, I believe. He's definitely not S+ tier anymore, but he's a really good hero. Those changes brought him down quite a little bit. Also, kind of a side effect of the spirit meta is everyone has like improved spirit armor. So I think he's a little bit worse than last patch, but he's still a great pick. Ivy. After the Spirit Ivy nerfs, like, Ivy's kind of like... I mean, like, Ivy's like, okay. Super okay. I put Ivy in, like, Bebop Haze level. Gone but not forgotten on Ivy for sure. Ivy's still good impact, but it's definitely not... Don't even remind me of the last patch where Ivy Kudzu was every game 1v9ing. Calvin. I'm gonna put Calvin in A+. I think the overall value on Calvin is still really strong. Even after the gun nerfs, Calvin's kit, I think, is just really good. In general, I think Calvin is best built as like a spirit support, and I think he has insane value on the team. And I feel like Calvin's another one of those things that's just never a bad option. Spirit meta, of course, and his spirit nades are insane, so like all the spirit items are really strong right now. Calvin has insane move speed for a box meta also. He's just kind of good. Geist, I think, is overtuned. I don't think Geist is the best character in the game, but I think Geist is S tier. I think Geist having a built-in silence that shuts down some of the strongest spirit carries, like Pocket Yamato. Like a built-in silence that got a 25% cooldown reduction buff is really insane. And her reverb build, which is, I think her Malice is really overtuned. And with the reverb on Malice build, I think this character is actually absurd. Character has S tier laning, S tier late game. And I think she's actually S tier. Malice is just perma-slowing, no cooldowns. It's like playing Earth. She's kind of like an Earth character. Lash. So Lash got some changes where his gun is weaker and his flog is weaker. But I do think Lash is good still. I think Lash is an A- tier this patch. I think he's really strong. His gun is still overtuned. But I do think Lash is really high value. The better Lash players are really good. I'd probably put Lash above Dynamo. Maybe between, like, if I had a Lash on my team, it's kind of similar impact of Abrams Dynamo. It's not going to 1v9 the game, but it's still there. And the value's still there, but it's not, like, the craziest thing ever. And this one might be controversial. Kind of like a complete opposite side of the spectrum of my previous tier list, so can't wait to get flamed for that one. But McGinnis is actually S tier. This character carries the game, I can't lie. This character is so strong early, and her ult build just has no cooldown, does way too much damage. This character is honestly broken. Like, this character with the new tower changes is one of the few characters that can actually still consistently shove towers instantly on any coordinated team play. She has built-in armor. She's insane with, like, Rescue Beam, Health Nova, Health Booster. Insane, like, S tier overall teammate. And her ult is S+ tier. Genuinely S tier. And, like, high elo / competitive only. I'm not saying, like... I mean, honestly, even in your lower elo games, ult build would probably 1v9. I've thought she's S tier for a long time. I think she's actually S tier now. I think she was bad for a long time and just got slightly buffed for like 15 patches in a row, and it's kind of... What's good about McGinnis ult? It has 0 downtime, insanely high DPS, and just so much spirit damage from long range. So much spirit damage. When you amp it with her wall with a 1-second stun with Mystic Slow, it's guaranteed kill. And it's like a 15-second cooldown. And you can easily snowball and gain gold because your ult has no cooldown, and you can just farm tier 3 camps with 0 spirit items. It's very broken. And the ult is a built-in slow, and you just build Mystic Slow, and you have like 70%. It's just broken. Actually broken. Mo and Krillium. I think Mo and Muhammad and Kareem is A tier. Probably around here. I think Mo is really strong. Mo is one of the best, like, shutdown. Like, Mo is an insane shutdown, like anti-carry. If you're on a team and the game's even and the enemy team has one person with the majority of your gold, he's he's the best anti-carry in the game. This character is the best character in the game at shutting down one individual carry. And it's a spirit meta and all the spirit items are strong. So, yeah, like, he does an insane amount of damage on his own. And then on top of that, he's just really good. Paradox. I think Paradox is really strong. It just depends if it's in the right hand. I think this character is overtuned and needs a little bit of reworks with, like, I do think her cooldowns are still low, and spamming actives on this character with her wall that has a built-in silence. I think she's A+ if you play her right, but to be honest, I think she's at the bottom of A-. I would still love to have a Paradox on my team over a Haze, Ivy, Bebop, but, like, in actual competitive, Paradox is closer to the top of the list. But I think in, like, on average in higher elo games, like, she's more like an A- tier. But, like, the potential is to be S tier. But on average, like in most games, probably like A- tier. I would rather have any of these heroes on my team than Paradox, probably. Pocket, after the recent nerfs, I think he's like top of A-. It is a spirit meta, like Spirit is just insane. Pocket is still, like, fundamentally broken. His damage amp is absurdly high. And, like, yeah, he did get a lot of nerfs, which bumps him from, like, S to top of A-, but he's still, like, an overtuned character. Like, this character... I think Majestic Leap actually needs some sort of, like, changes. Because I think the current Majestic Leap is kind of broken. Before the hotfix, I think 7 was S tier. 7 might just be A+ now. Maybe... After the hotfix, it's probably A+. They changed... There's just a hotfix a minute ago. Let's check it out. 7 Lightning Ball Tier 3 reduced from +2 to +1. It's so, like, that is massive for his ball, but I think he's still probably, like, top of he's still really good. The HP regens is insane, and but, like, just the ball being nerfed, I don't think means that, like, he's bad. It is just insane. His balls are a little smaller, but this character is still very strong. His clear speed is insane. Vindicta, I think this hero might be terrible. Lefa also said if anyone picks a Vindicta on his team, he's going to flame them because the character's terrible. So I trust their opinions on that. Warden, okay, like, Warden ult, can we all agree is a little bit overtuned with the Spirit meta? I don't think he's going to be overtuned forever, but, like, I mean, come on. Like, Warden ult with the Spirit meta, Divine Kevlar, is kind of just broken, no? Like, probably, like, around Pocket Abrams level. Probably around this level. I mean, this Warden Spirit ult with, like, Divine Kevlar is so frustrating. Like, this is just Warden's ult only, is A tier. This is for high MMR / competitive. I think Warden is really good. There's not a lot of people that play Warden well, but the Wardens that are, like, the people that are good in Warden with, like, Majestically Divine Kevlar, I think this character is pretty broken. Wraith, I would say Wraith is... I kind of want to swap these two now that I'm thinking about it, but maybe I'll just add 7 to here. That being said, Wraith, I think Card Wraith is still broken. I think Card Wraith is a top 5 hero in the game, probably. You just have no cooldown, point-click CC, burst spirit, which is just broken in this meta. Yeah, the scaling got nerfed, but this character is still insane in lane and insane mid-game and insane late-game. I think this character is kind of broken if you know how to use it. I think Wraith is better than Infernus. I mean, any sort of point-click AoE CC with insane spirit burst is going to be really good this patch, which is kind of like how... like, all these characters at the top are. If you notice, all of these, like, high spirit damage burst AoE characters are all S tier this patch, all of them. It's just kind of how the item meta is evolving. Yamato. So, like, Yamato got... This character is, like, S+ tier in lane, and then falls off to more like A later. I do think she's better than any of these B tier heroes by a lot, because her lane is just really overtuned. But, like, her lane is so annoying it makes you want to break your monitor every lane against the good Yamato. But I'm not going to confidently say she's better than Pocket, Abrams, Warden, blah, 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 blah. So I'm probably going to put Yamato around this level, because I think her lane is insane. I think Viscus is, like, bottom A+ tier. I think Viscus is an insane character, just because his kit is naturally absurdly strong. But I don't think he is S tier. I just think he's top of A+, like, in the middle, top of A+, most likely. It's hard to describe. Yamato is super annoying, but I do think there's things like Geist that inherently counter Yamato that are, like, very easy to deal with. Like, if you just go Card Wraith with Curse and Geist with built-in Silence and McGinnis to zone her off of her ult, like, if you use these heroes as tools to negate a strong Yamato, you absolutely own Yamato. It's not a problem. A strong Yamato will never beat a Card Wraith and a Geist with Silence. Never. Never happen. If you have a Geist and Wraith, you're not beating... Yamato's not winning. It's not happening. If I'm playing Geist and Naked's playing McGinnis and Leffa is 50-0 on Yamato, he's zoning her off with Wall, I'm built-in silencing her. This guy's building Curse, and he's not even a factor in the game. But you can't say the same. If you're Yamato, you can't easily counter these. So that's why I don't think she's, like, higher. That's kind of like my thoughts, at least. And I want to say that Shiv is S tier. I think Shiv is just overtuned. This character does too much damage and takes no damage. And, like, every game that I'm playing... Oh, wait, Shiv got nerfed again? No, I don't think it's really recent. It doesn't matter, though, no? Like, the thing I think about Shiv, though, is... I think he's an S tier hero, chat. And every single person in the game sees Shiv, counter builds around Shiv, and focuses Shiv as if he's, like, Thanos of the server. So, like, I feel like it's, like, kind of inflated. Or, like, deflated. Because you're looking at Shiv and you go, oh my god, they have a Shiv? I've got Toxic, you've got Toxic, who's got Curse? You've got Silence? Burst the Shiv down, everyone look at this guy. So then he doesn't have that much impact, technically, on paper. But this guy is so strong that if you don't do that to him, he is just S+ tier, doesn't die, 4,000 HP, like 60 DRs with insane damage. Like, I think the entire game revolves around Shiv when he's in it. And I don't think you can say the same about Wraith, Infernus, Kelvin, Viscus. I think Shiv is another level of, like, literally requires whole PD to deal with. And you know that you're going to require the whole PD to deal with it, so you're prepared. But these other characters are more difficult to do that. You don't load into a game and go, what can I do to shut down Shadow Weave Card Wraith? There's just nothing you can do. That's going to be strong. But Shiv is inherently really strong. Probably more like this. I just think these characters excel in this meta, like, a lot. Mirage? I think Mirage is really good. I don't know how everybody else feels, but I think Mirage is really good. I don't really know the public's general consensus on Mirage, but I think Mirage is very strong. I think the Tornado is actually broken. His lane is insanely strong, and his late game map pressure is good, and his gun damage is good, his spirit damage is good. It's just like overall, the public build on him is like a spirit mix with toxic bullets and AD. It's just strong. You can also do Echo Shard Tornado. I think this is my list for this patch.